Complete, accurate, and easily accessible documentation is the key to reducing risk, decreasing costs, and eliminating downtime in construction. But what's the best way to achieve this goal? I'm Christine Grail with Leica Geosystems. Here with me today to talk about construction innovation in documentation is David Stadnik of Multivista. Welcome, David.
Thank you for having me.
So David, tell me a little bit about Multivista, first of all.
Sure. Multivista is a construction documentation company. We focus on vertical construction, so ground up buildings primarily. And we focus on being inside the construction site. What I mean by that is on site, on the project team, integrated into their workflows. In a nutshell, we do that three ways. One, the boots on the ground. So we're a full service subcontractor model. Second, we deploy what I'll describe as practical and economical technologies to get information for our clients. And then we have a famously user-friendly software where we pull it all together, and that's what we give our clients. I guess in today's terms, a lot of what we do would be called reality capture. We started 10 years ago, and that wasn't a coined term yet. We've been doing it for 10 years, and it's been very well received by the marketplace. I'd say in the last 5 or 6 years, don't quote me on the exact time frame, but we probably have about 2 billion square feet awarded projects that we're documenting.
That's very impressive. So tell me why reality capture is so important in your work and what value it brings to your clients.
Well, sure. I mean, it's definitely a pillar of our business, but we go about it, again, we started about 12 years ago, so we go about it a bit differently. We don't start with the question, what's the most powerful technology that I can bring to the consumer and let me go sell it to them. We started with something different. We said, okay, first of all, again, boots on the ground. We're going to go get this information. So we need a technology that's going to be effective for that. We want to know what information our stakeholders actually want, and we want to know how they're going to consume it. So if we take each of those in turn, getting information on a construction site can be difficult. It's fast moving, it's ever changing, the schedule changes, that area is on hold, this area is just getting started. So what technology reliably can be deployed at the right place, at the right time, at the right frequency to capture all that? So we had to keep that in mind. Secondly, what's the right information? Well, stakeholders on a single construction project, I mean, it's a vast array of people. You have superintendents, project managers, quality control, the inspector from the city. You have all those people just on site. Off site, you have design professionals, insurance professionals, legal professionals, the owner of the project themselves, executives. There's a lot of people, a lot of stakeholders looking at this project through very different lenses. So we had to keep that in mind. And then on that same note, how are these people going to consume this information? How are they going to use it? The lawyer and the superintendent, want the information transferable. They want to be able to use it in different places and in very different ways, obviously. So the solution we ended up arriving at was, as one E&R editor called it, low tech, high value. We went with digital photographs, video, webcams, and we put those together in a fairly unique way. And we then integrate that with a really intuitive software. We go get the data, and we put all that together as a solution to this. And the result is extremely democratic. Everybody I just described and how they want to use it in construction are very familiar with two things, no matter what their sort of stake is in the project: the plans and visuals. Everybody can see a photo. So that's the solution we ended with. And it's gone really well.
Giving people access to that information is so critical when they need it, the right type of information when they need it. So a lot of this work that you do is probably invisible to clients behind the scenes. What your clients do see is how you turn this data into valuable information that adds intelligence to their work. Can you describe a little bit about the tools that you use for this?
Sure. I think that really speaks to our software more than anything in the deliverable. We have boots on the ground. When I say that, let me elaborate a little bit. We have brick and mortar locations everywhere we serve. So I will say that if anyone out there wants to see a full demo, there's a reason we do that. To touch on it briefly, imagine this, the software you log in, it's online, and essentially what you're going to see is your floor plans. They're going to be fully interactive, and you're going to be able to click on any wall or any ceiling or any system. The information is going to be organized by both time and location. So I can just click on that wall and I can see behind the wall. I can also expand upon that and see that wall come together throughout history, right, and get the complete narrative of the wall. And that's true for every wall and ceiling in the entire facility. Thus, I get the narrative or the story of the entire building. Also, of course, there's a whole host of tools and features they can use to share that information, annotate that information, talk about that information in real time. And all of this software, all this data gets served up within 24 hours of data capture. And in construction, that's huge. It's a big deal to actually get this information on a just-in-time basis to solve problems. The net result is on any given date within our system, you can walk the entire site virtually. Or at any given finite location, you can walk through time.
That is very impressive, and I imagine that your clients see tremendous value from having that kind of access to the data that they need. But you guys don't stop there. You don't stop at just during construction. You actually go a step further. Can you explain that?
Yeah, the buying decision behind Multivista is often, goes well beyond the construction site. Think of facility management applications, think of renovation applications, think of transactional applications. And let me take each of those. I mean, facilities management, so often they don't have a proper turnover tool, something that, you've got the whole construction team, they leave. And now you've got this whole team that's going to operate this facility for the next 50 years. A lot of our clients are institutional, which is really the second thing for facilities management is what we call institutional memory, right? This facility is going to live for 50 years. There's going to be a change of the guard. There's going to be a lot of different people changes, leaderships, changes in the campus, which goes to renovation. When planning a renovation, we want to know what's in the walls. We want to know that what we're going to spec in the new wing is going to match what's in the old wing and be compatible. We want to estimate costs. So all those things help with having cold, hard facts of what's behind these walls for the guy who was 10 years after this facility was built and knows nothing about it when he walks on site and says, hey, I want you to bid this thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That is so valuable. Now, Multivista has been very innovative in investing in the tools and technology. You've been very innovative in building up the software to make this information easily accessible, both before and during construction and after construction when the project gets handed over to the facilities manager. What's next? What's Multivista working on?
All right. I can only go into that in so much because some of this is under wraps. But take what I touched on earlier: getting information, what information, making the information the right information for stakeholders, and lastly, consuming that. Well, if we look at technologies that are coming down to earth in terms of practicality, because that's a big thing for us, or in terms of cost, take UAVs, for example. Well, I said about being at the right place at the right time. Well, obviously, flying machines allow us to be at all new places at the right time. So that's a huge part and parcel to our current business, but allows us to do something different. Other technologies, laser scanning, has traditional laser scanning when it comes to both getting information and what's the right information. We all know it's very big data, sometimes not practical and democratic for the whole span of people. But our recent partnership with Leica is capitalizing on things like the mobile solutions that are starting to overcome the limitations of traditional scanning, that are starting to allow us to move a little bit faster on a construction site that is fast moving and be at the right place at the right time at frequencies that our clients demand. And so some of these things are really exciting. So that's a bit of a sneak preview of where it's going. It's getting more information, more intelligent information. If I were to say it in sort of a soundbite-ish way, we're looking to marry the power and precision of Leica tools and instruments with the pragmatism and the service experience that our clients demand.
Excellent. Well, that obviously has worked very well for Multivista. It's worked very well for your clients. We look forward to seeing what you guys do next.
Well, very good. Again, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, David. For more information about Multivista, visit multivista.com. For more HXGN TV episodes, please visit hxgntv.com. Thank you for watching.